Baseball, like any sport, has its fair share of rules and regulations that govern the game. While many of these rules are essential for maintaining fairness and ensuring the integrity of the sport, there are also a few that have been deemed questionable or downright absurd by players, fans, and even experts. These so-called dumbest rules in baseball have sparked debates, raised eyebrows, and sometimes left people scratching their heads in confusion. From unwritten rules that defy logic to official rules that seem outdated or unnecessary, these peculiar regulations have become part of the fabric of the game, adding an element of quirkiness and occasional frustration to the beloved pastime of baseball. Let's take a closer look at some of these head-scratching rules and explore the reasons behind their classification as the dumbest in the game. 10. Rain delays and the 30-minute rule. Balancing game progression and fan experience. When a baseball game is called off by rain, it's important to strike a careful balance between audience enjoyment and player safety. The 30-minute rule comes into play, which states that the umpire must decide whether to resume or postpone a game if it is delayed for longer than 30 minutes. Teams, players, and fans all struggle with difficulty as a result of these limits because they have to wait patiently for the game to start or risk being dissatisfied if it is called off. 9. The Infield Fly Rule. A source of confusion and controversy, the Infield Fly Rule is a special rule that is meant to prevent fielders from purposely losing an easy fly ball to make double or triple plays. But as time has gone on, there have been questions and conflicts about how the rule should be viewed and followed. Discussing whether the rule was properly applied in specific situations, fans, players, and umpires often get engaged in heated debates. 8. The unorthodox ejection. Manager out. Player in it occurs sometimes in baseball for a manager to get dismissed from a game after an argument with the umpire. In particular situations, a player or coach assumes the managing position. Discussions concerning the impact on team strategy and whether the interim manager should have the same authority and decision-making power as the ousted manager are sparked by this unusual change in dynamics. The fairness and coherence of this structure are disputed by some, while others contend that it provides room for many viewpoints and tactics to be used. Intriguing considerations about leadership dynamics and the harmony between upholding norms and responding to unforeseen events are raised by the unusual ejection scenario. 7. Baseball's off-the-field uniform policy. Respect and inclusion. Baseball has a long tradition of enforcing a strict dress code for players, coaches, and staff members during games. However, athletes have adopted a variety of personal styles and fashion choices off the pitch. This contrast prompts crucial questions about how to combine upholding the game's traditions with encouraging inclusivity and individual expression. There is a growing understanding of the importance of allowing players to freely express themselves off the diamond while preserving the history and purity of the sport. A more inclusive and relevant perception of baseball can be created by promoting diversity in fashion and personal style. This will help to create a bond between players and fans that goes beyond the confines of the actual game. 6. The tattoo controversy. Artistry versus distraction. There is debate about athletes' visibility during sports due to a rise in discussion of tattoos on them. Whether these tattoos are artistic or disturbing on the pitch is the topic of discussion. As an instance of personal expression, tattoos, according to those who support athletes' right to self-expression, should be celebrated. Opponents, however, assert that intricate tattoos may be annoying to both participants and viewers. The conversation gradually switches to possible standard rules that strike a balance between allowing for self-expression and preserving the spirit of the game. In this ongoing debate, it is difficult to find a solution that respects both the athlete's need for self-expression and the necessity for an environment free from distractions. 5. Umpires and live ball interactions. Obstructing fate. Umpires in the game of baseball have an essential part in ensuring fairness, yet occasionally they mistakenly interfere with live balls. These occurrences, such as runs into fielders or unanticipated touches that change the direction of hits, spark debates over how to handle them. They put concerns about the fairness of the game and whether the umpire's participation should trigger a replay, an automatic out, or a judgment call based on the play's likely conclusion. These incidents serve as a timely reminder that even people whose job it is to uphold the rules may mistakenly affect the result of a game, provoking continued debates about the best way to maintain fairness on the field. 4. Skipping home plate. The curious run baseball fans have grown used to seeing runners running quickly towards home plate to score a run. While the majority of runs are scored by touching home plate, there have been instances where runners have missed it either intentionally or unintentionally. When a runner intentionally skips home plate, it is often seen as a display of showmanship or an attempt to taunt the opposing team. This act can lead to heated arguments and animosity on the field. On the other side, there are instances where runners accidentally miss the home plate because of speed or other distractions during the play. The decision of whether the runner's failure to touch home plate was an honest mistake or a planned action rests with the umpires in certain circumstances. The outcome of the game and the debate about the skipped home plate could both be greatly affected by this decision. 3. The broken Bad Conundrum. A bat gone astray, a batter's bat shattering when it contacts the ball, is one of baseball's most captivating visuals. It is a remarkable view to see the bits of wood flying through the air. However, a problem occurs when a damaged bat gives the hitter an unplanned edge. Sometimes, a broken bat causes the ball to go in a good direction, allowing for hits that would not have been possible with an intact bat. Discussions regarding whether or not such hits should be considered legal erupt in response to this. 2. Don't walk in front of the catcher. One of the sillier rules in baseball states that advising against walking in front of the catcher is often seen as a trivial guideline without a clear rationale. The regulation basically says that batters shouldn't walk in front of the catcher and umpire as they are entering the batter's box from the on-deck circle on the opposing side. The minor nature of the offense is highlighted by the common contrast of walking in front of the catcher to jaywalking. It is not seen as a vital part of the game, but rather as a matter of courtesy. While it's important to show respect for the other players, you should put more of a focus on sportsmanship, skill, and fair play than you would if you limited small moves that had little bearing on the outcome of the game. 1. Don't show up your opponent. We should be open to the idea of big celebrations when one person beats another in a sport that is really a series of one-on-one fights. And it ought to be reciprocal. When a batter gets tricked by a pitcher, the pitcher should get to rub it in. And when the batter is not duped at all, the batter should get to pimp the hell out of his home run, or praise it. Professionalism has its limitations. Sport is theater, and celebrations may raise the bar on fun and feeling. These high emotions fuel the fire and produce heels, which are excellent for keeping fans interested and involved. Sports are always more enjoyable when some enmity is there. And once more, it's up to you to put a stop to the other team if you don't want them to make fun of or expose you. Baseball's peculiarities and unique situations add to the allure and charm of the game. From shattered bats to the dumbest rules, each quirk has ignited passionate debates among fans, players, and experts alike. As baseball continues to evolve, it is these intriguing aspects that keep fans engaged, questioning the norms, and celebrating the diversity that makes America's pastime so captivating. As you depart, be sure to subscribe to our channel so that you never miss out on the latest content and updates.